Right before we jump into this video, if you'd like to take better pictures in low light situations, just look for this orange box over on the website, put your name, email address in it, hit send it, and I will send you that guide for free. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and today I want to talk to you about perspective as well as finding different angles, trying to get access, trying to find different places you can shoot from to set your images apart from everybody else, but also to show you the difference between perspective. What I mean by that is you may see one picture from in front and you may see another picture from the back. Which one is better? Well, it's all a matter of perspective, and your job as a photographer is to tell the best story of what is in front of you, and if you choose the wrong perspective or you don't have access to the right angles, you may not be able to do that job effectively. So let me turn over here and show you this first image. Now, this was taken by a kid named Chris Witchy, who is on or was on the trail with Bernie Sanders. He was in charge of doing the live streams. So his position for every single live stream or every single event like this was from the press riser, meaning this was the shot that he got because that's the camera angle they used to do the live broadcast. Well, in this picture that he took, you can see me right here on the, where am I? There I am. Oh, you can't zoom in too far because I just took this from Instagram, or he sent me a JPEG. He didn't have the full res because that was at home and he's on the road. But you've got me taking a picture of the senator right here. On top of my camera is the Atomos recorder, which means I was able to record video angle of everything I was shooting through my camera. So what I see is what you get to see. That's pretty important because it's actually pretty cool to see. But this is the perspective that Chris had. So I dug into the pictures to see what perspective I had from the time I was taking this picture. So here's my perspective. This is where I got to shoot from. I got to shoot from the stage. Now let me say this, Chris was exactly where he was supposed to be. He wasn't in the wrong spot. That's where he's supposed to set up to do the shoot. So I want to make that clear that he didn't do anything wrong. That's his home base, and my home base was basically anywhere else that I could be to get the shot. Now let's zoom in here because we can see Chris is right here, circling him with my hand mouse. He's taking the picture. You can see that's the live stream camera, and this is the press riser that all of the press photographers get to shoot from. So it's not the greatest angle because you're left with an image like this, which perspective-wise only shows you, it's Colorado, there's an American flag, there's this amount of people, but then when you go to the next perspective, which is from back here, you see all of the people. There's 10 to 12,000 people, I believe, in Denver at the time when we took this. I was able to run up on the stage. This isn't something that you have tons of time to do. You don't know when stuff is going to happen. You kind of have a feeling when the senator was going to wrap up with what he was saying. So I was ready to go up on the stage to get a shot. I didn't know what I would get. I believe I had the 14 to 24. Yeah, Sigma 14 to 24 2.8 on the camera, and this was my angle and my perspective. Is it perfect? By no stretch of the imagination is it perfect. But it happens quick. I don't know if I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 seconds at most to get this done. The video will show you from my camera, but this is the perspective that I think changes it up. Because when you look at this angle, you see everything. You see the Capitol building in the background. The sun was going down. It was golden hour. You have all of these people here versus the perspective of just having some of the people and having a very generic, traditional, same looking angle that you would always get if you're just right in front of the stage. So I also want to show you something else, and I'm going to get to a different perspective from shots that I didn't take to show you, to hammer it home a little more. This is another perspective. There was a second press riser in the back because I was able to move around and have the access. I was able to get a shot just like this from a distance where I believe I used a 70 to 200 Sony and shot it at 70, if not the 24 to 70, because the 70 to 200 was back focusing on me, so I had to take it off. It just wasn't working right. Something about that lens isn't right, but we're not going to talk about that right now. This is a perspective because I was able to move around. Now you see all of the people there versus just seeing in front of the stage. That's the point I'm trying to make. Changing up your angles and changing up your perspective, if you can. I understand that if you're shooting concerts, you may only have the perspective from the pit, and you may not be able to get on stage or backstage. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of, years of getting to know people to get the access. So I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong if you don't, but you should try to aspire to get the access, to get angles that are different, to ask to go somewhere else. But what I will tell you is never lose the respect or trust of who you're photographing. Once you do that, you're done. Once you abuse the trust, if they say don't do something and you do it, you will never get access with them again. So don't screw them over. If they're going to give you access, don't screw them over. Treat them with respect. Respect yourself. Respect the work that you do. Don't sell out for some quick fix BS stuff. This is a long-term game. You screw somebody today, you're screwing yourself tomorrow. So stick with it. Just showing you some other perspectives. Down low while the speech was going on, perfect, no. But unique, it's different because I had the access to get this where I got it. I had the access to play around and think long enough to be able to get this shot, thanks to Steven, who said he was doing video with silhouettes, and I was like, damn, that's a great idea, let me do it. Let me cut in here real quick and let you know that the images that you're seeing on the screen right now were edited using FroPack 2. If you're looking to speed up your raw workflow or give yourself a great starting point, we created 15 all-new custom Lightroom presets that you can check out right now at fronosphoto.com/FroPack2. While you're over there, you can play with the sliders to see the befores and the afters, and if you decide to pick them up today, they are currently on sale at a special price for a limited amount of time. Or if you decide to pick up the FroPack bundle, you can save even more. Now, let's get back to the video. And then finally, this is a different waving picture at the end. This is my farewell picture that I used for the book because it was the last picture that I took before they left and Steven and I went to the airport to come back home. I wish I was nothing straight here. I mean, the stage isn't straight. Nothing was ever set up right. No, don't want to say that. It's not that nothing was ever set up right. It's just that the lines are all over the place, just the way that this park was set. Now, I do want to jump in here and say that we are working on a mini documentary. Steven is still editing it. It takes a lot of time. When that is ready, we will put it out into the world. It is hopefully going to be really good. It's a look at what it's like on a campaign trail, presidential campaign trail for a couple of days with all access. It was awesome. Now let's show you the perspective I'm talking about. I just talked about concerts. Let's talk about Live Aid as an example. I took this is from CNN.com. 33 years later, Queen's Live Aid performance is still pure magic. Look at this picture. The perspective of this picture, this is amazing because you see all of the people at Wembley Stadium. But over here, that I'm circling it, down here below Freddie Mercury, is the pit. That is where the general press photographers got to shoot from. So the type of pictures they were getting were this. I'm not saying these are bad photos. I'm just saying that they're this. And what do I mean by they're this? They're okay. But does anything scream Live Aid? Does it really? Does it do anything different? If you're at a festival and you're shooting the artist on stage at 3 in the afternoon with the lighting is just normal light, are you actually getting anything? No, what you're getting are snapshots of an artist on stage. And they look the same whether they're in Topeka, whether they're in Florida, whether they're in Montreal, whether they're in Toronto. I'm just coming up with things that pop into my head. They're going to look the same from stage to stage to stage. That's why if you can change your perspective and get different angles, you are giving yourself an opportunity to get images like this. This is incredible. This showcases what was going on, whereas this just shows Freddie Mercury on stage. Fine, good, it was at Live Aid, so he has to tell you, somebody has to tell you this was at Live Aid. This, I don't need to tell you was at Live Aid. This perspective is what I'm talking about. So that's really what this video is all about. This perspective is what Chris had. This was my perspective. To me, this shows you more of the scene as it was. You get a feel for it and the location. Here, this could be anywhere. Time after time after time after time, all of these shots like this, like the live shot that they used on YouTube, was always going to look the same. It's always the press riser from 45 or 50 feet, whatever it is away, straight on. The perspectives can change. I was lucky enough to have all access to go where I needed to go to get different images. If you want to go to my website just go to jaredpolin.com, jaredpolin.com. Click on photo stories. You can see all the Bernie Sanders stuff. You can just click on Bernie, and I've got multiple different areas that you can click on. 3 different times I was out on the road and got some really cool stuff. If you want to check that out, go over to my website and take a look. But think about it. Get the different perspectives, show the different angles, try to get that access. That is what this video is all about. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Let me know what you think, and that's where I'm going to leave it. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.